Good morning. How are you all today? Thank you for visiting with us today and welcome to Bible study with Andre and Betty. We're continuing our studies from the book of 1 Samuel, and we're in chapter 29 of 1 Samuel. And we will be seeing divine intervention, that is God's intervention to keep David from fighting against the nation Israel, because after Saul, David is going to become the second king of the nation Israel. So again, 1 Samuel chapter 29, verse 1. Now the Philistines gathered together all their armies to Aphex, and the Israelite pitched or set up camp by a fountain which is in Jezreel. These are all places of the possession of the Israelites. Verse 2. And the lords of the Philistines passed on by hundreds, that is, the princes or the warlords. And the lords of the Philistines passed on by hundreds and by thousands. But David and his men passed on in the reward with Achish. So they were the last group of soldiers that was going to battle against Achish. And reward is a word that means rear guard or at the end of the camp. Verse 3. Then said the princes of the Philistines, what do these Hebrews here? What are they doing here? And Achish said unto the princes of the Philistines, is not this David, the servant of Saul and king of Israel, which hath been with me these days or these years, and I have found no fault in him, since he fell unto me unto this day. And David was in the land of the Philistines a year and 4 months, 16 months. And so David is going to fight against Israel with the Philistines, but the princes or the leaders of the Philistines didn't want David and his men amongst them while they were fighting against the nation that David belonged to. Verse 4. And the princes of the Philistines were angry or wroth with him, with the king. And the princes of the Philistines said unto him, make this fellow return or go back, that he may go again to his place which thou hast appointed him, and let him not go down with us to battle, lest in the battle he be an adversary to us. For wherewith should he reconcile himself unto his master, talking about King Saul? Should it not be with the heads of these men? So they thought David would defect on them, and God begins to intervene through King Achish and these Philistine princes, and through what God says about them, we'll see God delivering or intervening to keep David from fighting against his own people. So they say in verse 5, is not this David, of whom they sang one to another in dances, saying, Saul slew his thousands and David his 10,000. That was the women. In chapter 18, verse 7, these women sang this song. And this is when Saul got angry or jealous of David and began to pursue him to kill him. Verse 6, then Achish called David and said unto him, surely as the Lord liveth, thou hast been upright, and thy going out and thy coming in with me in the host is good in my sight. For I have not found evil in thee since the day of thy coming unto me, unto this day. Nevertheless, the Lord's favored thee not. So he complimented him. And now in verse 7 and following, he's going to tell him why he has to go back. And back in verse 4, the place that Achish had appointed David and his men was called Ziklag. And we're going to see more about that in chapter 30. So, nevertheless, the Lord's favor thee not, verse 7. Wherefore now return and go in peace, that thou displease not the lords of the Philistine. So Achish heeded to the words of the Philistine lords. Verse 8. And David said unto Achish, but what have I done? And what hast thou found in thy servant so long as I have been with thee unto this day, that I may not go fight against the enemies of the Lord, my king, of my Lord the king? Verse 9, and Achish answered and said to David, I know that thou art good in my sight as an angel of God. Notwithstanding, the princes of the Philistines have said, he shall not go up with us to battle. And so Achish is telling David to go back to Ziklag. And but he found David to be a man without fault. Verse 10. He didn't ever find out about David killing this group of people, pretending he had killed his people of Israel. Verse 10. Wherefore now rise up early in the morning with thy master's servants. These were 600 men that are come with thee. And as soon as ye be up early in the morning and have light, depart, get up and go back. Verse 11. So David and his men rose up early to depart in the morning, to return into the land of the Philistines. And the Philistines went up to Jezreel, which is where Israel had pitched their camp. And so this is divine intervention through these Philistines and their king for David not to go against his own people. And next time, David, in chapter 30, we'll see the rendering of Ziklag and what happened there while they were getting ready to go to battle, the Philistines against Israel. So next time we'll go to chapter 30 of 1 Samuel. And then in chapter 31, we're going to see David, see King Saul and his sons killed. So thank you all for listening. These are short lessons, but thank God they have great messages for all of us. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day and a great week.